So welcome my beautiful, dearest, one of my closest friends, Amanda Schunker, to Living Story, the new season on OneSpaceLove podcast. Welcome, Amanda. I'm going to go with my nickname, Ananda.
Thank you. I like Ananda.
I know I love Ananda, but
it's better than boring Amanda.
No, I love it. Yeah. You are Amanda Schunker. What is your artist name that you go by? So can you introduce yourself to the listeners by answering the statement, I am?
I am an abstract painter. I am a rock fiend.
Yeah.
I love rocks. I'm a nature lover, adventurer, mother, lover of people, creativity, art, connect. Yeah.
We've been talking about having this chat for, I think, since season 1 of OneSpaceLove, and I always trust in the divine timing of everything. I think because we're, very close friends, it's easy to say, no, I'm not going to show up yet. But now I think this is the perfect timing to show up. It's so exciting what you've got going on. You are an artist, and we actually met. I feel like it's important to share this. We met through a time in your life when it's a funny story, which you can share if you want, but I always find it hard to explain this story because it makes me look super goofy. We met doing a digital textile design course, right, in Melbourne.
It was Photoshop or something.
Illustrator,
which I don't even use anymore.
Same. Yeah. I don't think I've created a repeat pattern in Illustrator. But back then I was designing similar clothes. This is a Leona Edmondson, actually. Very similar
that's very nice.
Designs to Leona, and I wanted to learn how to create my own patterns. So take us back. How was that part of your journey? Like, where did you begin, just briefly, in fashion textiles? And then how are you – because I always find when we change paths, there's 2 questions here, but what is it that you are still able to use that is helping you in this part of your life, in this journey that you're taking as an abstract artist? Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, a lot. I think I've always been more of a fine artist. I've never been that commercial, but I wanted to find a vocation for my creativity, that would pay me a wage. So I went into textile design at RMIT in Melbourne. Loved it, made some lifelong friends, and majored in print. So I've always loved colour and mark making. And then I think when I was graduating, which was a long time ago, computers just were evolving. And so when I got out into the workforce, I was, 9 to 5 on the computer all the time and, designing things that were very commercial and not me. So whilst it was good to have a job, to be employed, and I learned so many things, particularly organisational skills, communication skills, all of those sort of functional things that you do need, that people don't think about when you're presenting an exhibition, all that background work that you need to do.
Yeah.
So that did help. But then I had kids, and after I freelanced after my first, and then my second, I was a bit lost, and I found these life drawing classes, dynamic drawing, and it was in Melbourne, in Fitzroy, and it was an incredible group of artists from far and wide. That it was.
I remember you attending that very first class.
Yeah, when I was in Byron.
Yes.
Yeah. Because they're from Byron, Ron and Liz. And it was all about freedom of expression and, trying different exercises to just get your language out, really. And that was a turning point for me. That was just like, I've come home. This is what I need to do. And then I just kept developing from there, getting back to life drawing, painting, started painting. I've always had a love of rock formations and nature. My husband surfs. We're often, going out on adventures. So it all sort of evolved over time, but it's taken a long time to cement my own style and to find that path. And because it's abstract as well, like I can, and I like drawing, observing and referencing, but for me, it's taken a long time to find that language of my own that comes from here, like that trust in yourself.
Yeah. I'm glad that you've
Yeah.
brought that up, because that's where I was gonna lead to. What do you feel have been the blocks that have come up, and what can you say to someone that is wanting to move such a big, from textiles to abstract art? What helped you to get through those blocks?
A lot of things. And also had a lot of traumatic things happen in my life, so I needed to dig deep. I had to dig deep. And so I meditate in the morning, I journal, followed the artist way, journal my 3 pages in the morning.
And are you still
Now
doing that? You keep that practice up?
Yeah, I try to. I've slacked off of it a little bit because I started swimming. Well,
Oh,
not so much now because it's got colder, but swimming in the bay, just, oh my
mm,
God, incredible. Just the endorphins that kick in
mm,
through my darkest times and through my best times. It's just been this incredible grounding force and a connection with nature. I'm very lucky. I live 5 minutes from the bay, and the cliffs are there, and
mm.
it's a really great, quick place to just connect straight away. Yeah. So that's been really great.
And I love that
Yeah.
you shared that I think many of us can relate to. I mean, we've been best friends, I'd say, for almost 2 decades now, and we barely get to spend time or speak to each other because we are all almost going through such a lot of big times. Like I don't know how to
Yeah.
simplify it. It's actually enormous. And what do you want to share on that? Because you have had some big things happen that how have
Yeah.
those, I mean, if you want to go there, but what can you share? What is something you feel you can share from that, what you feel ready to share,
Yeah.
that has really helped you really trust and really know that this is what you have to trust and move with it, no matter what that self-talk is
Yeah.
telling you. Yeah.
And I have always had a massive lack of self-belief. So
Mm.
it's really been a journey, and Kate Williams has been instrumental in this is
Oh, I
what you're
caught
meant
up
to
with her
do. Just
yesterday, actually.
keep
Yeah.
keep
Yeah. Yeah.
keep going,
Yes.
keep going all the time, just adamant. I'm like, really? Really? And being fortunate, to be represented by Curatorial and Co. So, okay, one of the main things, particularly for this exhibition, is that I work best in nature, like there from that direct response. And that's what I
Mm-hmm.
loved about life drawing as well. It's that
Mm-hmm.
direct response, because things can get pretty stagnant in the studio. You start to get a bit repetitive. You're in your own head a lot. So I had a brain tumor, I think it was about 8 years ago now, and that was removed. But since then, I can't move at a fast pace. I can't bend down and up quickly and easily, or I get debilitating headaches.
Mm.
So, and also I used to paint on board, on
Mm-hmm.
heavy ply that was braced, but I work quite large scale, and that was getting heavy. It was like 20 kilos, and I turn things around when I'm
Mm.
painting. So a couple of things I've changed to a nice sort of smooth canvas, and I just hang that on the wall and unstretch, so I've still got that hard surface and that pushback that I like to use when I'm mark making. But it's also good because I've started rolling them up large scale as well, and taking them out to the beach. I've got a few locations that I love, and painting out there. And so I actually have one. I also made these big paintbrushes on bamboo
Wow.
sticks and bamboo poles, so that I can stand and paint using them without having to bend as often. I still end up bending down at some point, but yeah, those things have been instrumental in changing the way I work and accelerating my process a lot
Mm.
more. So yeah, that's been a big difference, which has been life changing for me in my process.
Yeah. And I also love that a lot of people could have gone through that and got stuck in that story and become almost like that is the story that ruminates, rather than you've
Mm-hmm.
taken it, and instead of saying, well, I can't do that, so I can't paint, you've actually transformed it and recreated and allowed what's meant to come through. I'm so grateful that we've got to share this. And again, I trust in the timing because it really is coming through the work that you're producing and the people that are supporting you. Take us to some of the mentors, because I can imagine what you just shared. There would have been times when you would have wanted to give up. So who are some of the mentors that have encouraged you with your work that it's, it's valid to bring it out and share it and exhibit it and sell it? Because you're actually now an artist. You are a working artist, and you're not just doing it as a hobby. This is your
Yeah. Okay. So Kate Williams has been great. And I think,
and let's just stop on Kate.
Artists.
How did Kate be your mentor? Because a lot of people won't know who Kate Williams is.
Okay.
What did she no. I just thought I should have asked that better because we've said Kate, and if you're listening, who is Kate Williams? What was it that she taught you to help you stay on track? If you want to share like maybe one key point.
Okay, so Kate really is a spiritual guide and helps with finding people's life purpose. And she just was adamant that I should be painting. And actually, a few people have said that. I do remember somebody had said to me, "Oh, you'll be painting, you'll be an artist." And I just sort of went, "No, I don't think so." And then I do remember swimming in the sea one day, and I just had full on body tingles that this is what I meant to be doing. Like it was really a moment. So, and then, being signed up with Curatorial & Co. and just having to turn up, and also my yoga, like I do yoga as well. So it's a lot meant to do with your mental headspace, your capacity to just believe in yourself and keep going, because it's quite it's an isolating process. You're in your studio, just doing your thing. Yeah, and I've been to the Eastern McDonald Ranges on a workshop with Ross Laurie, very well revered abstract landscape artists. I've done many workshops as well. Yeah, had looked to older artists as well that I have not met, but Per Kirkeby is like a favourite of mine, who was also a geologist, and he's a Danish artist who's now passed. But just referencing various other artists that have passed as well. Yeah.
And that's beautiful. And because I think it does come a lot about changing your state, and it sounds like you've really learnt how to not ignore what's being, self-sabotaging or self-talk, but it's also like you've been able to know what it is you have available to help with swimming and journaling and meditation and yoga and just reaching out for inspiration from your mentors. So I love that.
Yes. Yeah.
And how did you come to connect with this group that you're working with now to exhibit this new exhibition in Sydney? Because you're down in Melbourne. So how did you connect with them?
Yeah. Well, it was sort of the early days of Curatorial & Co. Sophie found me on Instagram, which Sophie found as the director. They're a beautiful group of women who run the gallery, and it's just expanded and expanded. Now they're in Woolloomooloo on William Street, in a gorgeous big gallery space. So yeah, she found me on Instagram and was visiting a client close by and I think we had a mutual friend, and she came to my studio, which is at home and Bayside, and we met and went through my work and talked, and it just felt really right for both of us. So yeah, that was, I don't know how many years ago.
You're in Melbourne and she found you on Instagram on good old sci-fi
in the early days.
Yeah, in the early days.
And you're
not big on Instagram.
Media.
Yeah, and
I am forcing myself to post of late.
Yeah.
In the lead up to my show, but I find it very distracting. To be honest,
yeah,
I find it very distracting when I'm in the process, when I'm in the flow. I kind of just need to block everything else out and just do my own thing, because I don't want to post things whilst I'm still creating them, and some people will like them, some people won't. I don't want anyone influencing my decision making or to be distracted in, okay, what are they saying now or whatever. So
that's a really interesting point around like sharing behind the scenes as an artist. Like it's a very personal journey that you're taking. And then I actually can relate as a fashion designer. You'd go through that design process, and it wasn't until you showcased at Fashion Week that people got to see the art. But before that, it was a very private experience. That's interesting.
Yeah.
So I wonder
Yeah.
now
'Cause
how I would
I
be
don't
on.
mind.
Yeah. Yeah, I was going to say,
Yeah,
I
I don't
wonder
mind
how I'd be
sharing
on
it
social
now.
media. Yeah, like so maybe you
Yeah.
share it once the work's done and being
Yes.
exhibited. Yeah.
Yeah. I've just found, and it's taken me a while, but I've just found that works a lot better for me. I don't mind sharing, but I just find it very distracting. And yeah, it's not something that I really enjoy at all. Of course, I love to engage with people, but yeah, the whole social media thing is just, you can send you down a whole big rabbit hole. And I'm much more of a face-to-face person.
I think you're speaking to a lot of artists out there, musicians or filmmakers, actual painters. You're speaking to them all in their language because that is a struggle to balance between both the worlds and put themselves out there. I want to come to the name of this exhibition you have in Sydney because you're down in Melbourne. Where did the name come from? We are all shady shits. Is that how you say it?
No, it's not shits.
Okay. Schists. All right, let me say that again. Cut. All right. So blooper. Okay. So you've got this exhibition coming up in Sydney. I've got the giggle loop going on.
Yeah.
The name of your exhibition is We Are All Shady. Can you help me? Shits?
Schists.
Okay.
Schists. And I know a lot of people don't know what a schist is, so I will explain it to you.
Can you give us some education around the vocabulary? Yeah.
I'll give you a brief. And look, I did want to choose that name because it's a bit of a pun.
Yes.
So in geological terms, a schist is a rock that's undergone like profound transformation. So it's a metamorphic form that's been reshaped by heat and pressure into these lustrous, radiant layers. So, you've probably, I mean, most people, it's kind of like shale, like you see all these compressed rock and you can see all the layers of time. So that's my analogy is like, we're all a bit like that. We're all shaped by pressures and layered with history and finding our own unique luster. And so for me, like I asked myself, what am I tethered to? Like, why do I keep coming back to these rocks? What is it? And who am I? So, as you can see, I have a very broad multicultural heritage. I've got Chinese, Anglo-Indian, German, Portuguese, French, born in England, live in Australia. It goes on.
Yeah.
So whilst, yes, that all makes me, but what I'm anchored to, when do I feel home? It's out in nature. It's the rock formations, and it's that non-denominational platform where there's no prejudice. There's no boundaries. It's open to everyone, no one and everyone. So yeah, that's how it all came about. And, we're also celebrating imperfections as well. So the shady Schists, and just making it all a common ground, an equilibrium, an equal platform. Everybody. Yeah.
I love this.
So,
and did this come through you after you produced the pieces, or do you feel like it was sitting there and brewing as you were creating these works for this exhibition?
I think it's often in my peripheral. It's often sort of back there, and it's the same with painting for me. I think I work best when I don't have preconceived ideas. I just let it come out, and then usually somewhere in that process, or maybe at the end, I recognize where it's come from, and I'm like, oh yeah, that's what that's about. And so it was a bit of that with this, sitting back afterwards and going, okay, what is this all about, and how's it happened? And I wrote a poem as well for the show.
Can you share that?
Yeah. Do you want me to read it?
Yes, that'd be amazing.
I'll just find it. Okay. We are all shady Schists.
Okay, start again. Hang on.
Hang on. Okay. We are all shady Schists. In a world of turmoil, of prejudice and greed, would it be so difficult to simply heed Mother Nature's call for peace and harmony? Spend time with me, she beckons quietly. We are abundant with life and curiosity. Surrender your black screens, your egos and fast pace. Let the anxiety and the need to dominate lose its place. Black, white, yellow, green, the immigrant, the outcast, the refugee. Dissipate, appreciate, congregate, celebrate. Our imperfections metamorphosed over deep time, sedimentary layers of a collective design. We are the grit that didn't break, so look to the stone, the fractures and twists, and see ourselves, for we are all Shady Schists.
May everyone get along to this exhibition, because I cannot wait to see all your work celebrated and hanging up, because this is a very strong message that needs to be felt and seen and heard. So thank you for being able to be a vessel to share that.
Thank you.
Who would have thought you'd be a writer and an artist out of everything you've been through from that little day I met you at the computer screen designing?
And you unplugged the cords.
I did. So now let's say
I think that's
on the
what
podcast.
Connected us. That's what connected us.
I know.
It's, being vulnerable and showing your imperfections so that, we can
I think
I've
only told one other soul that if they're listening, they will have a giggle. But I remember that I leant over, I'd run late, and I pulled something out and went to plug in something, and it shut down all the systems. And then I was like, in that moment, you went up to me and I don't know, you connected with me. And then I said, before you want to be friends with me, there's something I have to confess.
And that sealed
that was it. You were like, yeah. Yeah. What did you think in that moment?
Page. I'm like, oh, that's the best. I just thought it was hilarious. And that you shared it with me was just the best. Your honesty and humor, love.
Look, one thing I can say, I am an honest friend. I'm hopeless at staying in touch. We live in different cities and we barely get to see each other, but I am a loyal friend, and I'm always got your back, and I'm always here anytime you want me, I'm here. So thank you.
Same.
Well, I cannot wait for this exhibition. I'm actually, I said to her, I'm like flying out 6 a.m. the next morning to do the mastery course of Miroslav, but I'm there and I'm showing up, and I cannot wait to be at this exhibition. So we're going to share this part before the podcast comes out, but this is on next Wednesday night in Sydney on William Street. Do you want to share the details?
Yeah. It's at Curatorial & Co, 80 William Street, Woolloomooloo. The opening is 5:30 to 8:30, and the show goes from the 3rd to the 20th of June. And everyone's welcome. Bring your friends, your dogs, whatever. Everybody's welcome. Love to see you there. The more the merrier. So I hope you enjoy it.
And one more time, the name of the exhibition.
We are all Shady Schists.
I
hope that people can relate to the work and look into it, whatever they feel. Like I like that there's ambiguity. I like that it questions people or makes them think or go, oh, what is this? Or is this? Yeah, I can sort of see this happening here. I like that. I just hope, people have some sort of emotional connection to the work. Yeah.
And that's what I find special about going to the opening. It's a free event. It's at 5:30 on Wednesday night. So I really encourage you to get along and to express, your own personality through your clothes, or your own inner self through your clothing as well, and just have fun. Come to this exhibition. And what I love is you get to meet Amanda herself and you get to discuss art. It's a very different experience than just walking through an exhibition following up. The opening is always a beautiful experience. And they run such lovely events at this space run by these.
At Curatorial & Co. And they're lovely people, very welcoming. It's not one of those kind of austere galleries. But it's a beautiful space.
I came to your other exhibition and it was I just left feeling, celebrating art, celebrating you. It was such a great community that came along. So, I encourage you, William Street, next Wednesday, 5:30 till 8 p.m.
8 p.m.
8 p.m. And it's free. So
Yeah.
Come and support
Come
Amanda doing what she loves. Thank you, Amanda Schunker, for joining me on Living Story, the new season on OneSpaceLove podcast. I'm Stephania, your host. Thank you, Amanda.
And thank you so much.
Thank you.